our courts, as in fact she's a convicted felon for libel, cyber libel in the Philippines, and she faces other cases in the Philippines. Now that's for the courts to decide. Now, of course, we are also mindful of a very articulate article written by national artist F. Sionel Jose, and perhaps we should quote F. Sionel Jose, because it does not help if this comes from Malacanang. So this comes from a national artist. I've criticized Duterte, but not on press freedom. The Philippine press is alive and well, not because of Maria Ressa. No writer is in jail. There is no censorship. Duterte hasn't closed a single newspaper or radio station. The closure of ABS-CBN was made by Congress, which did not renew the ABS-CBN franchise. Sure, he influenced Congress, but the real issue against ABS-CBN, as I pointed out, is not press freedom, but money, politics, power, and its abuse by the officers who own the TV network. Sure, journalists have been killed in the Duterte regime, but just as it was in the past administrations. But those killings cannot be laid at Duterte's door. Usually, they are made by minor politicians or officials attacked by journalists. The real test for journalists was made during the Marcos dictatorship when he imposed censorship, closed on media, and jailed journalists. Let's just say Malacanang agrees with our national artists.
But sir, what about the sentiments? But because right now in this modern times, oppression or yung attack sa journalism doesn't just come in the form of killing or complete censorship, but in a way the actions, some would say, would have created a chilling effect among other journalists, among media institutions. And may mga nagsasabi po na itong pagkapanalo ni Ms. Ressa highlights the importance of press freedom and freedom of expression, and in a way shows na there are really efforts to silence the media and truth during this administration. Do you agree also to sentiments na this could be a slap to Malacanang's face? Is it something that the government can be proud of?
Certainly not. It is not a slap on the government. It was made by private individuals in Norway. We respect their decision, but as I said, criminal liability of Maria Ressa remains pending in our courts, and we leave it to our courts to decide on her fate. There is no slap there because, as everyone knows, no one has ever been censored in the Philippines. You cannot blame Congress for not renewing the franchise of ABS-CBN because that is one of their powers. That is not an order emanating from the executive, nor is it a matter within the jurisdiction of the executive.
Sir, no direct censorship, no blatant censorship, but what about the sentiments or that the actions that the government took could have created chilling effect on other media institutions, on journalists?
A journalist who claims a chilling effect should not be a journalist.
Alright, so just on another topic, yung dun po kanina follow-up na dun sa research, is the IATF now preparing for an alert level 3 scenario?
I do not know, kasi I do not want to be accused of prejudging and preempting the IATF. All that I said is that the data supports a lowering of the alert level, no? Especially the ICU utilization rate and the overall healthcare utilization rate of Metro Manila.
Sir, one last note. May talk to the people po ba kami?
Meron po. From Davao City.
Alright, thank you very much, folks.
Thank you very much, Trish. Yusek Roque, please.
Yes, Secretary, may follow-up lang po si Laila Salaveria ng Inquirer. What does it think of the Nobel Prize Committee recognizing her for using freedom of expression to expose abuse of power, use of violence, and growing authoritarianism in the Philippines? Is also said Roque has focused critical attention on the anti-drug campaign, which is described as murderous, and further said the number of deaths is so high that the campaign resembles a war waged against the country's own population. How does it view this observation?
Already answered, and let me state also that all surveys indicate that the people overwhelmingly support the president's war on drugs. So I guess Rappler has to do more writings.
Second po rin po niya, the Nobel Prize Committee also said free, independent, and fact-based journalism serves to protect against abuse of power, lies, and war propaganda. How can the government ensure this will thrive when media outlets in the country have been shut down and threatened.
Excuse me, wala po ka tayong pinasara. Kinakailangan po ng prangkisa ng ABS-CBN na hindi nila nakuha. Name an outlet, a media outlet that the President has ordered closed. Then I answer your question. Pero as of now po, press freedom is alive and the proof is even the Nobel Prize Award given to Maria Ressa.
From Cresceling Katarong ng SMNI, may ginawa na bang paghahanda ang pamahalaan para sa darating na undas? May ilalabas bang possible guidelines para sa undas sa gitna pa rin po ng nararanasang pandemya?
Wala pa po ang balita from the ITF, pero siguro I will propose already on Thursday kasi kinakailangan naman may advance notice sa mga taong bayan.
Opo. From Maricel Hadili ng TV5, what's the directive of the President about the Filipino nurse in the United States who died after being assaulted by a mentally disturbed homeless man in New York City? What will the government do?
All victims of violations of the right to life are entitled to a speedy domestic remedy. No? So we appeal, of course, to the U.S. administration to investigate and prosecute the killer of this Filipino nurse. Assaulted pala, oh yeah, died. No? So we call upon the U.S. government to do what is incumbent upon any state where there is a killing.
From Maricel Halini ng TV5, the substitution is until November 15. What are the chances that Mayor Sara will still run for president?
Well, ayaw ko pong pangunahan si Mayor Sara and she has a spokesperson, so please ask Mayor Garcia Frasco.
From Jampu Salan ng ABS-CBN Online, Senator Binay has hit COMELEC for the alleged preferential treatment given to President Duterte and his party during last week's filing of COC. Do you disagree the President and his allies got a VIP treatment? How would you like to address Senator Binay's criticism that if COMELEC can't be fair and partial towards administration bets, then what will the 2022 elections be like?
I leave that for Mr. Jimenez to comment on. That's something for COMELEC to comment.
Second question po niya ni Jampun Salan, did the President have any recent contact with COVID-stricken Mayor Sara? Is everything okay with the President's health? Similar question with Maricel Nalini of TV5.
I can only surmise that there was no contact because otherwise Mayor Sara would probably a candidate by now. Secondly, tuloy po ang talk to the people and I will be flying to Davao right after my press briefing together with the selected members of the IATF. So hindi naman po kami papupuntahin doon kung meron pong close contact si Presidente.
Any update daw po sa bill seeking to postpone the farm elections?
Well, all I know is that both houses have passed it. No? So there is no impediment for it to become law. It becomes law if the President does not sign it within a certain number of days. No? So sa akin po, wala na pong gusot yan. I think the elections will really be postponed. And the members of the BARM will be appointed by the President.
From Joseph Morong ng GMA News, the Philippine College of Physicians for former health and 300 doctors have signed a statement calling on the President to order relevant government officials to appear before the Senate inquiry into alleged anomalies in the spending of DOH fund. Will President retract his ban?
No po, siguro yung statement was drafted way before the 12 hearings were conducted. Siguro po, natagalan niyang pirmahan, pero hindi po ever pinagbawalan ni Presidente nung mga unang panahon na umapir ang kanyang mga kalihim. In fact, they appeared before 12 hearings of the Senate and the House and he only said, tigil na yan after 12 kasi wala namang bago pong tinatanong at walang bagong sagot.
Opo. Second question po ni Joseph Morong, they also hope that the Senate submit the document evidence and file cases before the DOJ and the Ombudsman. Will the President support this?
Hindi, that came from the President. Kung talagang what they want to do is oversight function and prosecution for crimes committed, leave it to the DOJ and the Ombudsman. So it's not just something that the President supports, it's just something that the President proposed. Leave it to the DOJ and the Ombudsman.
Opo, they also want an independent body put up to gather evidence regarding the alleged anomalies. Will the president support this? Support this?
Proposal lang nga po ni Presidente yan, ang mga piskal po, when they conduct preliminary investigation, act independently because that's quasi-judicial. And the Ombudsman, on the other hand, is an independent constitutional body.
Opo, follow-up lang po ni Joseph Morong, meaning future hearings, will the president allow cabinet secretaries to attend?
Hindi na po siguro dahil na-issue na yung memorandum sa mga kalihim.
From Ivan Mayrina ng GMA News, Secretary Joey Concepcion says that even at 30% capacity, some businesses might not be able to afford to pay the 13-month pay and is calling for more easing of restriction to alert level 3 or even alert level 2, given the current numbers and still with 5 days left to October 15. Does the government think we are ready to further ease restrictions? Are we on our way to actually having a Merry Christmas?
Again, without second-guessing the IATF,